Strategy is not a plan for what you'll do, it's a filter for what you wouldn't. I said no to something 2 months ago that a year ago I would have said yes to without thinking. Listen, my sanity and my business is still moving faster because of it. Every yes is a no to something else. The question is whether you're choosing what you're saying no to or you're letting your schedule choose for you. And at the end of that year, I was so exhausted, scattered, and if I'm honest, further from my actual vision than when the year started. Not because the opportunities were wrong, but good things that belong to someone else's season can and will drain you. Is there a yes on your plate right now that belongs to a different season? Woo! We just came out of a system reset series, a whole month of auditing, simplifying, and rebuilding our internal operations. Now we're shifting to the external, to how we make decisions, build strategy, and grow. This is the Strategy She Builds series, and we're opening up with the most fundamental piece that I think every creative business owner should be aware of. 2 years ago, my strategy was essentially say yes to everything that seemed aligned, whether it was a podcast, guest invitation, collaborations that felt exciting, launches that I was meaning to do, courses I wanted to create, communities I wanted to curate or join, or even opportunities that arrived in my inbox and felt too good to pass up. I said yes to almost all of it. And at the end of that year, I was so exhausted, scattered, and if I'm honest, further from my actual vision than when the year started. Not because the opportunities were wrong, most of them were generally good things, and I've learned a lot. And it also gave me insights into even my own creative business. But good things that belong to someone else's season can and will drain you. They'll feel productive while you're doing it. They'll produce results that don't compound. And at the end of the year, you'll wonder why. With all of that output, nothing felt like you actually move things or move momentum in your own business. And that was the turning point for me is when I think a friend asked me this question. What is the one outcome you're building towards this year? And I'm not that type of person who likes to plan or have year goals. I kind of take it by quarter. And after being asked that question, I even asked myself a further question. Does everything on my plate serve the vision that I am working towards? And I couldn't even answer the first question clearly, nor even have a deeper response for the second question. That's when I started building my strategy differently the following year. And that came with the breakdown of the systems on the internal as well. Now, here's what most creators mean when they say they have a strategy. It's a detailed plan for all the things they're going to do. But a plan is just an organized to-do list. It tells you what to do, it doesn't tell you what not to do. And in an economy of infinite opportunities, where every week brings new platforms, new partnerships, new formats, new ideas, the plan is the easy part. The filter is where the real strategy lives. Every yes is a no to something else. The question is whether you're choosing what you're saying no to or you're letting your schedule choose for you. I remember I was listening to a podcast episode and the guest speaker, Grace Andrews, talks about brands that chase every trend, format, platform. She said something that was so instrumental. She said that brands that hold attention to the opposite of just chasing trends, they are ruthlessly clear on what they're for and what they are saying no to. And that's the thing about it, is that that clarity is not limiting, but it also puts you on a path of acceleration. When you know exactly what season you're in, what you're building, who is it for, and what it requires, every decision becomes faster and cleaner. The opportunities that align feels obvious, the ones that don't, equally obvious. Okay. And so that's what strategy as a filter looks like in practice. So, when opportunities and things pop up, there are three questions that I usually ask myself every single time. Does this serve my primary goal for this season? Not my overall goals in general, your one primary goal for this specific season. This question only works if you have named the goal, not five of them, but not the vision board of 10 things. That one primary outcome that this season of your business is organized and you're working towards. For me, in Q2 of 2026, it's growing the podcast audience through video. And that's it. That's the one thing. And so I have tailored everything from the back end to even my everyday activities with that one goal in mind. So every opportunity that comes across my desk runs through that filter first. Does it serve that goal? If yes, it earns the right to be considered. If no, it goes into the later or something that I'm going to address later on. And it's a gracious no, it's a professional no. All right. So I want you to write down your one primary goal for this season, not your to do list, just that one single outcome that would make this season a success, and that is going to be your filter. The second question I tend to ask myself, do I have the capacity to do it well? Do I have the capacity to give it the best of what I can do? All right. And not just time, the energy, the focus, the creative bandwidth. This question separates enthusiasm from wisdom, because in the moment an opportunity arrives, your capacity always feels bigger than it is. Your excitement can create that perception of bandwidth that doesn't exist once the work actually starts, and then you start dreading the work. Let's be honest here. So, doing an opportunity poorly, showing up unprepared, under delivering on a collaboration, and launching something that is half finished costs more than not doing it at all. And it costs trust, yours as well as your audience. So, what I want you to do before saying yes to anything, sit with this question for about 24 hours. Don't respond to that email very quickly. Check in with yourself after the initial excitement fades. Does the capacity still feel real? All right. So the next thing I like to ask myself when opportunities present themselves, is this the right time or just a good opportunity? And a lot of times, things you can have your season going, you can be doing a number of things, and this great opportunity that you are looking forward to comes up, and you be like, it goes back to the two questions you ask yourself. Do you have the bandwidth? Is it right for this season? And sometimes a lot of these opportunities are not for the season that you're in. And so timing is a part of strategy. Hear me and hear me well. Some opportunities are genuinely worth pursuing, but not right now. Okay. The mistake is treating every good opportunity as a now opportunity, because saying yes now to something that belongs in 6 months means saying no to what actually belongs now. Let me give you guys an example. I had a brand reach out to me to do a collaboration. I am very much aware in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I have a lot of things going on the personal side. And from a work and creative standpoint, I'm already taxed within the next 6 weeks because I'm batch recording. I need to get ahead of content. So when I'm off for about 2 weeks fully, my content is already scheduled, and also I can focus on the things that I need to get done on the personal side outside of business. So I was upfront and honest with the brand. They reached out to me. I had a conversation with my husband and I told him, oh, this brand reached out to me. And I sat with that email for about, I think, a good day or so. And then I reached out to them and I told them, like, yes, I would love to work with you guys. This is great. It aligns with the content that I'm already creating and all the things. But right now, I can't do this collaboration. And I was very upfront and open with them and transparent. But because I answered the question, with all that I have going on, do I have the capacity to do it and do it effectively and do it at the level of which I have created when it comes to doing brand collaboration? And does it serve my primary goal for this particular season right now? And I had to be honest with myself. Yes, it was a great opportunity, but one of the things I love about the brand is that they actually understood my position and they were like, yeah, we can come back, just reach out back to us, let us know when you're ready, and then we can take it from there. And so when you start filtering your opportunity, it gives you permission to say, this is a yes, but not yet. So I can put it into my future season list. I can revisit it at a later time, and I can also let it wait. All right. And so give yourself permission to just understand the timing and the season that you're in and let things sit with you for a while before you say yes to it. So, what I want you to do the next time you're tempted to say yes to something, ask yourself explicitly, is this now or is this for a next time? If it's for a next time, bookmark it, write it down, put it as a reminder, put a date on it, and be very intentional about it and let it go for today and for the season that you're in. I want to say something about no, all right? And you hear people say no is a complete sentence. Yes, because when you say no, it's point blank, period. Because I know that for a lot of us as creatives, especially women who've spent years proving themselves, building from scratch, working to be taken seriously, take it from me as a woman in the tech industry. I've been through it. The stories I can tell when it comes to being a woman in tech, a Black woman in tech, especially having to prove myself in a male dominated industry, it takes a lot. So saying no to a good opportunity can feel a bit dangerous. And then it gets you to thinking that you might not get another chance, like that door will close and it will stay closed. Most times when I say no to stuff, I sometimes, yes, I do get that resistance and I feel that way. And it still happens even to now having this knowledge of saying no. But I have been sitting with the wisdom and the instructions in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. There is a time for everything and a season for everything under the heavens. A season for every activity, not every activity in every season. Hear me and hear me clearly. There is a season for every activity and not every activity in every season. That scripture doesn't promise that good opportunities will always come at the right time. It promises that there is a right time and that discerning is part of wisdom. You have to be discerning of your timing. When I said no to that collaboration, it wasn't fair. It wasn't playing small. It was obedience to the season that I am in. I am protecting that season that allows me to do the work that matters right now, which is this podcast and all the other things, the community, getting my videos batch record, edited. So when I do take off, I have things in place and I don't have to worry. I can focus on what it is that I need to get done. So with my full capacity, and I don't want to do collaborations half-heartedly. I don't want to do anything that is not within my full capacity. And everything that we do, we must do it in order. We must do it in excellence. And the no wasn't a closing of a door. It was keeping the right ones open. All right. And if you be transparent with your no, people will understand and you don't have to feel guilty about it. Is there a yes on your plate right now that belongs to a different season? And what would it feel like to give yourself permission to move it? Strategy isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things in the right season and having that discernment to know the difference. If this episode resonated with you, if you found yourself nodding at is this now or a next time, I want to keep the conversation going inside of my different communities. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment and let me know. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, definitely come over to YouTube and let's have the conversation going in our communities, okay? I'm also sharing more deeper inside of my Substack community. You can join the Substack community by clicking the link in the show notes. So you can join us over there inside of the Creative Flow community. Next week, we are going deeper into the strategy conversation and we're going to be talking about the one tool that most creative entrepreneurs skip completely. All right. This is going to be, they skip completely, which is a quarterly review, not as a reporting exercise or something that needs to be done, but it is a strategic practice for your creative business. In episode 46, I'm going to show you how to use it to make the second half of any quarter more intentional than the first. So that is it for today's podcast episode. I'm Elisha, and this is how we create a flow.